Oh, hi. My name's Robert, and I'm here today to talk about eating disorders and men. So, a lot of you probably already know that anyone can get an eating disorder. It's coming out in the literature, it's becoming more commonly known, but a lot of people maybe still haven't encountered the idea that eating disorders aren't something that only affect, like young, kind of upper middle class women. So anybody can get an eating disorder. There's a couple of folks in our community here that I know. We've got a middle-aged single mom. She has one. I know an older lady, grandmother of like 5, who's got one. I've got one. I'm a father. Have a 1-year-old daughter, and she's beautiful. So they really can affect anybody. And I really wanted to kind of bring that up and just be honest about how I have an eating disorder. Because for a long time, I lied to myself about it. So I would pretend that it was just a gay men thing, right? That only gay guys could get eating disorders. Which doesn't make any sense, because those two things aren't at all connected. Statistically speaking, a gay man has a higher chance of having an eating disorder. So there are more men from the gay community who are affected by eating disorders than there are men from the straight cis community who are affected by eating disorders. But that doesn't mean that oh, I'm not gay, so I can't have an eating disorder. Or oh, I am gay, so of course I have an eating disorder. Those things don't follow. That doesn't make any sense. I think it's really important to really talk to people, any person who has an eating disorder as an individual, because we all are individuals. We all have our own experiences that bring us to this place where, for whatever reason, you try to solve problems. With this kind of monstrous thing that makes you feel better for a while, but then it comes back and it bites you in the butt. So I guess what I really want to say is, if you are a guy out there and you think you might be struggling with an eating disorder, but you're not really sure, maybe first of all educate yourself, right? There's a lot of really good information out there. Folks like Katie Morton, she's got a lot of videos out on YouTube. She's actually a registered mental health professional. And then, other folks who are just kind of advocates for eating disorders. So there's this lady named Mia. Her channel it's called What Mia Did Next. And so there's a lot of folks out there, there's a lot of information that they're putting out that can help you to understand what an eating disorder is, how it can affect you. And so I would say look into it, try to understand what it is and what it means. And then I would say be honest with yourself, because I lied to myself for a long time about having one, and it's been 10 years since this all started, and that hasn't done me any favors. It definitely means that recovery is going to take longer than it might have if I'd fixed this, or if I'd started working on this within the first year or something. This could be a thing of the past mostly, right? But I didn't, and so here I am. It's important to be honest with yourself, because if you try to lie, if you say oh well, I'm a straight guy and gay guys get eating disorders, that's bull. That's not true. Anyone can get an eating disorder, including you, right? So be honest, and finally get help. I tried really hard for a long time to just get over it, right? To make it go away. That didn't work. I finally really decided to go get help at the point where I realized that I was quickly heading into anorexia. It was really hard. It was really hard to turn that around, and I had to have a lot of help to do it, and it was just a bad place to be in, So if I'd decided to get help earlier, I think things might have gone quite differently. But still, I'm a really lucky person, because some people don't realize that they need help until it's really far along, right? And the longer you wait, the harder this gets. So please get help. And I know that a lot of people don't want to get help because they might feel shame about this. I can't tell you how to feel, but I can tell you how I felt about it, right? And so I'm still very ashamed of having an eating disorder. Like, my family knows about it, but I mean, it never comes up at, like, you know, family events or get-togethers. The only way that it does come up is this really weird way. Like, my family, like, they all look at me, you know, at family, like, dinners, and they wait for me to go get a plate and get some food. Like, it's really awkward, and it makes me very uncomfortable, which makes it more stressful, and, you know, it makes me not want to eat more, and it's kind of frustrating. My point is that I feel a lot of shame around this. I really have hidden it from most people in my life, and, you know, that's not helpful. There's no reason for me to feel shame about having an eating disorder. Like I mentioned earlier, it's, you know, it's a thing in my brain. It's a thing that I didn't choose, came with my genes, came with some experiences maybe, but it's there, and I didn't choose to have it, but I can choose how I try to act going forward with my life. And so there's this thing, I think Katie Morton says it, like, I can't, you know, sorry. So, okay, so only I can fix this, but I can't fix it alone, right? And that's the same for anybody out there who's struggling with an eating disorder, right? Like, you're the only person in the world that can work on this, that can make your eating disorder better. But you can't do it alone. Like, we all need help, and that's okay. The important thing is that we get started, you know? Start working on it, and it might take some time. Just like climbing a mountain, you know, you just got to go one step after the other, and you just keep going up, and eventually you get the summit. It just takes, you know, thousands of steps for you to get there. And if you stick with it, you can get there, and you will get there. So, yeah. I hope that this video, and I'm planning to make some more videos in the near future about this topic. So I hope these videos will help take some of that stigma out, because there's no reason for us to be ashamed of this, you know, any more than you fell down and broke your arm. Like, it happens. Crap happens. We just have to make the best of it and try to, you know, live lives that are meaningful. So I know we can all do that. There's the dog, so I probably should go let him in. Yeah, please feel free to comment below. I've left some links to useful information from groups like the National Eating Disorders Awareness Group. They call themselves NEDA. I'm not quite, I guess, National Eating Disorders, like, Awareness. I think that's all they call themselves. Anyway, so I'll have links to that. I'll have links to some folks that I found really helpful on YouTube and the YouTube community, you know, in my own kind of process toward recovery. And you know, you can always feel free to comment below. Feel free to contact me. I'd love to say what I can to, you know, listen maybe to your stories or whatever. But above all, please, if you have a problem with an eating disorder, no matter what level, you know, whether you're full on, like, anorexic, or, you know, you feel like you don't deserve help, like, please reach out and get help. You know, we all need help, and that's okay. That's like getting a cast on your arm. You know, you break your arm, you need a cast. That helps it heal. So, you know, be well, and I'll see you next time.